We are joined by former Federal Reserve Governor and also the professor of economics at the University of Chicago Booth School of Business, Randall Kroszner, back with us, and of course Tom Lee from JPMorgan joining in on the conversation. So Randy, what do you make of Operation Twist? Do you think that could do something?
I think it could. I think we don't want to say that the Fed can do everything. I think the Fed has done an awful lot to try to support economic growth, but it can only do so much. If there are incredible uncertainties about what might happen in Europe, uncertainties about the fiscal situation in the U.S., regulatory burdens, it can't get firms to actually hire if you have those uncertainties. It can provide the foundation for growth, but it can't actually get the firms to take those actions unless they feel sufficiently comfortable about other aspects of policy.
Right, because it doesn't, I mean, hiring has nothing to do with monetary policy. It has to do with the confidence that you have in the economy and that you're going to be able to grow your business. So, Tom, is the market expecting, though, regardless, that the Fed is going to be doing something if economic conditions worsen or the markets continue to sell off?
Well, I'd say that the market is not expecting much benefit from, Operation Twist or Operation Torque or, whatever it's called. In fact, our economists...
Or any operation.
Yeah, our economists are calling this like a, move with a pellet gun. And part of the reason is, I think the guest is making an accurate statement. Funding costs are actually pretty low. It's pretty hard to get people to borrow money if there isn't confidence, right? So I think you do need to have some improved visibility on Europe, and I think you need some political leadership and maybe some fiscal partnership here as well.
Right, Randy. Does this remind you of 2008, as Deutsche Bank CEO is saying?
Well, I think there's some concerns that the European banks are facing the kind of challenges that the U.S. banks were facing in that period, because we had the subprime problems in the U.S., but they have the sovereign debt problems there. Enormous amounts of exposure to these sovereigns, and those sovereigns are seeing their ratings go down, and as well as the market's perception of their ability to repay go down significantly. And so I think there are some parallels there, but I wouldn't go so far, because I do think banks are a bit better capitalized, and I think there's more of an awareness of how to try to deal with the issue. Now, whether the Europeans can actually do that is another, is something that we haven't seen them able to do. But I also want to give them a little bit of credit because because this is an incredibly difficult thing. We had the same kind of growing pains in the U.S. We had the Articles of Confederation after 1776, and it wasn't until 1789 that we actually had a full fiscal confederation that led to, well, that was part of the Constitution, that sort of led to a better structure. We had high inflation, we had lots of problems. So maybe credit isn't the right word, but a little bit of understanding, because this is a difficult political thing for them to work through.
Right, but as Tom is saying, though, there's only so much patience, though, that the markets have for the European leaders to figure this out. This is not the 1700s. This is now the 2000s, and the markets move a lot faster than that, Randy, right?
For sure. No, the markets punish much more quickly. In the 1700s, things were a little bit slower than they are today. But I just wanted to give a little bit of sympathy for the political difficulty of what they're trying to deal with. I mean, it's a real difficulty. It's not just, well, gee, if they just sort of got together, it'd be okay.
Right.
This is a real challenge.
Randy, sympathy aside, though, do you think they've got what it takes? Do the European leaders have what it takes, though, to take care of, to do what they need to do to get those yields down, to I know the lending markets haven't frozen, but they're certainly starting to freeze. I mean, to get that back in order.
I think it's becoming clearer of what they have to do, and I think the political consensus is starting to build. Because at first it just seemed, well, this is a bailout, that why should we help out Greece? But now it's sort of a broader understanding that this is not just a Greek problem, but a larger problem with the European Union. And if they want that enterprise to go forward, then they've got to do a lot more. And I think that understanding is starting to really trickle down to the broader population.
Okay, Randall, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much. Always great to have you on the program, Randall Kroszner.